Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind.
Good life, good life, in a different lane.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday. I have my favorite guys in the studio. I'm just joking. Uche's not here, so I can say that when he wasn't here just to mess around. I have Henry, our relationship therapist, to my right. I have Dr. Brian Turner, our clinical psychologist, to my left. And we're going to have a really interesting conversation today, and I'm sure you guys are going to give me very different points of view for this article that I read. I found this article, and it was about a gentleman, and he's recently divorced, and he was giving the 20 reasons or the 20 tips that he had for people who are still in relationships, because after he lost his relationship and his wife of 16 years, he realized exactly how much he lost. So my question for everyone today is, do you really appreciate the relationship that you're in? And what do you do to reignite the flame or reignite the connection, I should say, more importantly, at least in my eyes. But I'll ask you two because y'all have been studying a lot longer than I have. But before we jump into that, I want to let you know the Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. It is back. March 25th, it will be at the Juju Bag. That is March 25th, and it's also going to be comedian Tony Frederick's birthday party. So we will be there as well. That will be the Good Laugh going up on a Friday. It will be at the Juju Bag on March 25th, so make sure you don't miss it. It's a $10 entrance fee. We're going to be outside. It's going to be all set up. We're really excited about it. We're going to have a much larger venue this time, so we're really excited about getting everybody, in there. It is definitely something you don't want to miss. It is everything that you don't hear during the commercial break. Come and ask your questions, because we had some very interesting questions from the audience, don't you think, Henry?
It was crazy last time, but in a good way, a good crazy.
It was a good crazy.
Yeah,
the crazy you need in your life.
Absolutely. It was absolutely. Honestly, I wasn't expecting the level of the level of question, I should say, or the openness that the audience had. But I think it was a really good flow. We have, an hour of comedians, and they talk, it's kind of relationship comedy for the first hour. Everybody's kind of drinking. It's going to start at 6, or we're going to open the doors of the Juju Bag at 6. So we're going to have a happy hour from 6 to 7. So we're going to loosen you up and get you ready. And then when you enter, you get to write your relationship question down. So you don't have to stand up if you don't want to, but our first time at Bullets, they got, you can ask anything. The first time, at Bullets, they got so comfortable that they were standing up asking questions themselves. So, it kind of is what it is. Bring your significant. Yeah, audience participation was on fleek. Mm-hmm. I will say that. It is something you do not want to miss. It is a great date night. See where you are in your relationship and your level of conversation, or ask the question that you want to have the conversation with, your
Here's
significant
the deal. Come
other.
with your partner, but write your question down when they're out of eyesight.
Exactly.
And act like it wasn't your question.
Exactly.
It felt like the audience during the Steve Harvey show was like, ask Steve. That's how it felt.
That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Well, make sure y'all are there. It is March 25th at the Juju Bag. Doors open at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7. It is something you do not want to miss. That's the Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday. Y'all, I think we're starting a movement. Honestly, it seems like it's been kind of big throughout the country. You have Tyrese and Rev Run have their relationship conversation.
Everybody copying us.
Everybody copying us. They had Rico Love and, everybody else. Everybody's having their relationship conversations.
Mm-hmm. But don't everybody.
But everybody's not the Good Laugh.
Yeah, they don't have what we have.
They do not.
Go ahead.
No, I'm excited.
I was just going to say, it's really interesting because I think we've had a very good model specifically of black love in the White House for the last 8 years. Mm-hmm. Something that potentially we haven't seen in a long time. So even if we play with, the Huxtables, we think about Steve and Urkel, Full House, not Full House, what was that?
Family Matters.
Mm-hmm. I think we've had a lot of good examples, but I think the relationship bug has bitten because we've had a very good example, and I think people are kind of understanding, you got to do some real stuff in real relationships.
Right.
So it's real interesting, the synergy of what's happening.
Absolutely.
I think the last good, black model show for relationships was probably Martin, right? I mean, they had Martin and Gina had the best relationship. They were serious. They were clown. Yeah, it was real.
Yeah. They weren't necessarily in the White House. They didn't have a 2-story house with.
There wasn't a doctor and all of that.
It was like everyday folks making it happen.
Yeah. Grinding.
That is too funny. Well, make sure that you meet us March 25th. Doors open at 6. There'll be a wonderful happy hour from 6 to 7. The show starts at 7, and that is The Good Life. Meet us at the Juju Bag because it is Comic Relations. I'll give you that in 2 seconds. It's on Franklin Avenue, across from the Melanie home. You pull it up.
I used to have it memorized.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Man, why you put me on the spot?
See, you put yourself on the spot. But we're going to jump back into the conversation of Relationship Tuesday. I'm going to ask you guys, before I really kind of jump into, the article, do you feel that people really appreciate their relationships? I think once you get in them and you kind of get through, you feel like you kind of running around in circles a little bit. But are you really putting in what you want to get out of it? Because do you remember when you weren't in one and you were looking for one? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think you get in one and then you're like, it gets to the point where maybe you've been with each other 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7, 10, 20, whatever. But you have to remember the time when you were on your own and single and looking for one, and how everybody isn't lucky enough to have a loving relationship.
It takes serious effort. You put in effort to meet somebody and to keep them. Well, you're supposed to put effort in to keep them. But, some people say, oh, well, I got them. Cool. Kind of like buying a car. You're searching for a car. You find the perfect car. So you think you got to maintain that car.
'em.
Yeah. You can't just drive it around and,
there's upkeep.
don't get the oil changed. Don't get your tires balanced and
wash
rotated.
The car.
Yeah. You wash your car.
Detail it.
Yeah. Those are cosmetic things, but
hey,
you want to keep them looking nice, right?
There you go.
Just like you do with a car. So I mean, you have to put in work, and it's constant work. It's not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be married, everybody would stay married. But the ones that stick it out, believe me, they've gone through some things,
right?
And they're showing that they have the strength and the love and forgiveness and the commitment and the compassion. You have to keep all of those things rolling.
What do we talk about? Love, tolerance, understanding, compassion. Y'all, that's the good life.
To be in a relationship is a cognitive commitment to emotional life. You are actually making a decision that you want to be engaged with another person emotionally. And I think all too often people make emotional decisions about cognitive practices. So you can't just decide, oh, this person makes me feel good in the bed, or this person looks good, so I'm going to commit to them for the rest of my life. Because emotionally, that's a very in-the-moment thing. But I think if we look at the reality being that we're trying to figure out how do you be with someone in a long-term, monogamous, exclusive, committed situation, that takes a lot of decision-making. You have to consciously decide.
Choice.
Yeah, you have to consciously make that choice to get up in the morning and give your 100 to that person.
Yeah.
And I don't think enough people really consider that. I think they like the benefits, they like the outcome, they like the finished product. But it's like everybody always says, it's the sausage making process, right? Everybody likes the finished product, but nobody likes to see the sausage being made. And I think relationships kind of bend us to that same piece. And so I just always tell clients and tell folks, you got to know what your deal makers and your deal breakers are. You got to tell folks up front, if you do this, then I'm out. I mean, and that's something I can't come back from that. That's too far for me. And then a person should be able to have millions and millions of deal makers. You should be able to deal makers should be breakfast on Saturday. It should be making sure the car is clean. Like, those things should happen all the time. But there should only be one deal breaker. And I don't think people take time enough to really understand what that means for them.
And I will say this, a lot of people, get to that point where, they just have to release and get it out. Sometimes they use their social media platform. So as this gentleman, and this article is from stayonthehealthypath.com. It was written by Gerald Rogers. He's a motivational speaker, and he is freshly divorced. And, this article has been shared more than 130,000 times. Just I said 130,000 times. It has more than 28,000 likes and hundreds of comments. So this is what he says. He goes on to say that obviously I'm not a relationship expert, but there's something about my divorce that is being finalized this week, which gives me perspective on things that I wish I had done differently. After I lost the woman I loved in marriage for almost 16 years, here are some tips that I wish that I would have been told. I'm gonna go maybe like 3 at a time, and then I'm gonna get our 2 cents on it. Number 1, never stop courting. Never stop going on dates. Never take the woman for granted. And I'm gonna put this in both regards. Never take your partner for granted. When you're asked to marry, you promise to be with that person and keep their heart and fiercely protect it. This is the most important and most sacred treasure that you will ever be entrusted with. They chose you. Never forget that. Never be lazy in love. 2, protect your heart. As you promise to be the protector of their heart, you have to keep your own with the same caution. Love each other totally. Love the world openly, but keep a special place in your heart where no one may enter except your partner. Keep this place always ready to receive it, and call in and refuse to allow anyone or anything to come there. And the 3rd one, fall in love again and again and again. You are not the same person you were when you got married, and in 5 years you will not be the same person you are today. Change will come, and that means you have to choose each other on a daily basis. Always fight to get their love as you did when you first met them.
And I didn't even read that. Yeah.
Right. But you all were hitting on those points.
Right.
And I think it's a different point of view when it's someone who lost what they didn't realize they should have been appreciating. Because, it's really heartfelt at that point. You're like, I lost it. And how many of us have been out of a relationship 6 months and been like, damn, that was the one. Either way. And then, you're on trying to find the next one, and you're always comparing them to that one.
I think it's good to compare. I always feel like that's a good thing because, I love the analogy stuff.
Go ahead.
But I mean, if
you, car?
Let's look at Drew Brees.
Okay.
That's your starting quarterback, Super Bowl champion. He's a winner. But, eventually Drew Brees got to go. That doesn't mean in a marriage, but I mean in a relationship. When things aren't working out, sometimes, it's time to move on to the next. But you have to compare, you have to say, okay, well, what qualities does this person bring to the table? Can they sustain the position? So it's always good to compare.
I think it's interesting not knowing this gentleman's situation and why he's getting a divorce. But I think his list is kind of long for persons who are at the rocky part of a relationship.
I think some of them intertwine, though, don't you?
Yeah, but I think someone who's getting into a relationship, like I would love to give this list to people who are at the early stages of a relationship and have them go through and talk about it. Actually, I actually use a relationship readiness quiz when I have a couple come in. If they haven't been together but for a couple months, I say, well, let's do this. Or when I have clients who say they're ready to get in a relationship, I say, well, let's do this quiz because it actually assesses a lot of these things that he talks about. And if they're not rating where they should be, I say, well, do you really want to get in a relationship? It's saying you're not ready to share.
Right.
It's saying you're not ready to commit. But you're telling me you're in love and you're ready to move into this person's house and their life. So be honest with yourself. What is it about this person that makes you ready to do this that you're actually going against all of what your actual energies are saying?
Right.
And so I think what's interesting is I think it matters where you are in that stage. Some people, I think, feel forced based upon life stuff to get into a committed relationship.
Okay, I love that you said that. Why?
Well, because that's what my friends are doing, or that's what my parents should do, or I now have the job.
But you're the person that has to live with this significant other for the rest of your life.
I'm getting older. I gotta find somebody.
Oh.
And so I think
how does that work out?
Well, I mean, I don't think it works well. I mean, whenever a person is forced to make a decision without having put in the required energy, and that energy, it doesn't mean it takes 6 months to a year. Sometimes it takes 6 weeks. I'm not going to say love doesn't happen fast or quickly, but I think there has to be a strong commitment to actually doing it the right way. And it could take 6 weeks for some person. Sometimes it takes 6 years. But I think if we listen to his list, I think he's making very good points about what should happen early on in a relationship.
Exactly.
I don't think these are the things that you can go back. So, how do you fall in love again and again with somebody?
He's looking back on what he should have done.
Right. But if somebody's in a rocky relationship right now, I would suggest not to try to use this. I think there's some bigger stuff that has to be done. Yeah.
What about say you're in a rocky relationship? This is just mine. I'm going to ask you for your response when you come back. Making a list of all the things that you love about that person and all the things that, drive you crazy. This is The Good Life. It's Relationship Tuesday. We'll be right back, and we will hear the guy's response on that. Stay tuned. L&R Security keeps our family, friends, and event goers safe. And to do that job, they are looking for you. L&R Security Services is now hiring persons for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, armed and unarmed guards. All interested persons should contact L&R Security Office at 504-943-3191. Fill out an application at L&R's office at 3930 Old Gentilly Road. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. To become one of the proud workers of L&R Security, the minimum requirements are 18 years of age, a completed work application, and criminal background check, 2 forms of ID, whether it be a driver's license, a state ID, military ID, social security card, or other forms of picture ID. L&R Security is looking for qualified employees to assist in keeping the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival safe. They are looking for you. Again, contact them at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. L&R is always looking for armed and unarmed guards. If this is your profession, they're looking for you. Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit? At KB Enterprises, they specialize in restoring your score. Learn how to increase your credit score with 100% satisfaction guarantee. A+ rating with the BBB, 10-year track record of removing negative items including repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, student loans, and more. Kenneth Barnes and his team at KB Enterprises are excited about helping you restore your credit and achieving your financial goals. Whether it's acquiring a home or purchasing a car, don't miss this opportunity to change your life forever. For more info, give them a call at 504-577-4139. Log on to www.kennethbarnes.org and be sure to tune into The Good Life on Money Mondays and get your financial tips for the week from Kenneth Barnes so you can live the good life too.
Hi, this is Norman Robinson. New Orleans East Hospital is open and providing quality health care in your neighborhood. The New Orleans East Hospital is bringing our finest physicians into a beautiful new facility where you receive compassionate caring service. Emergency room services at New Orleans East Hospital are some of the best in the region. To learn more, visit our website at noehospital.org. Your health matters to us at New Orleans East Hospital.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
Awesomely amazing, the facts made clear. Data News Weekly, the paper to cheer. The people's paper for natural growth. Honorable achievers achieving the most. Data News Weekly, the future of our youth. In the city of New Orleans, without excuse. Understanding the expression, Black Lives Matter, yet we're failing to climb the ladder. The absence of love, the missing link. It's time we commit to effectively think, uplifting our women, families as well. Safer communities in order to excel. Managing anger, developing our minds. Data News Weekly, preventing decline. Restoring our decency, restoring our faith. Thoroughly conscious, removing disgrace. The best of character constantly applied. Self-determination, no one denied. Mothering children, mothers up to par. The purpose of life beyond a star. So let us prioritize what is urgently needed. Data News Weekly, regression defeated. No longer distracted, no longer confused. So great is the substance of Data News.
Pick up your copy of Data News Weekly today.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabout for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabout in Gentili.
You are now listening to the radio station that's keeping it real. WBOK 1230 AM, where it's real talk for real time.
Good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind. The Good Life radio show is brought to you by Morris Reed Jr., a New Orleans law firm. If you have been hit in a car accident or charged with a crime, call 504-488-HELP. That's 504-488-4357, 504-488-4357. The Morris Reed Jr. Law Firm is a full-service law firm that fights vigorously to get you the money you deserved. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or you have been charged with a crime, call Morris Reed Jr. and let their experienced, highly qualified attorneys provide you with expert legal help today. Call 504-488-HELP. That's 504-488-4357, 504-488-5357, because that is the good life. And speaking of the good life, the good laugh, Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday, sets off at Juju Bag, and that address is 5363 Franklin Avenue, 5363 Franklin Avenue, March 25th. Doors open at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Tickets are $10. Y'all, $10, $20. Take you and your significant other. Ask all the questions that you want to. It is so interesting. Trust me. It is very, it's interesting, but it's very eye-opening. And I had a lot of people who came up after, and they were like, this is something that our city really needs. You know, being able to have these conversations upfront and open and honest is the good life, and we need to do more of it. So make sure you join us on March 25th. It actually is one of our comedians' birthday, Tony Frederick. So the comedians are Tony Frederick, Matt Owens, Courtney G, and Terry Scott. And of course, the Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday is presented by the Good Life Radio Show featuring Stand Up Nola, and it's combined with Relationship Tuesday crew. Eileen, Uche, Brian, Henry, and Gian will be in the house. So make sure you are there. Look at the guys not in their hair. Yeah, so it'll be fun. The Good Laugh is comic relations. So meet us March 25th. Doors open at 6 p.m. at the Juju Bag, 5363 Franklin Avenue, because that is the Good Life. Now we're going to jump back into this conversation because I found this article, and it's about this gentleman who is actually a motivational speaker. And he kind of poured his heart on social media because he had lost his family of 16 years. And he was kind of giving the advice that he wished that he would have done, to save his marriage. So, yes, these are tips you can have at the beginning of your marriage or the beginning of a relationship or, honestly, I personally feel it's like any time in between as long as you get your mind right and come back together. So my question before we went into break was, when you're going through something and you feel like, you're in a rough spot, is it a good idea to make the list of, these are the things that I love about the person and these are the things that drive me crazy? So, guys.
So what I was getting to is I don't think it's a problem to make that list. I think some of the things this author has put out here, as we all agree, this is what he's saying he wished he would have done in his relationship.
Right.
My struggle is that when people start having problems, unless that issue is resolved, you can't focus on the good, unfortunately. I've seen too many times that people, they get that one thing in their craw, that one thing in their filter, and until that thing is worked out or dealt with, they can't allow themselves to feel their partner's any good, and that's the problem. And I think if we did practice more problem-solving skills, conflict resolution in our own relationships, then you can do that. But we run from those. We don't want to think our partners are different. See, that's that thing. Like our research actually tells us, people want to say, oh, opposites attract. Yeah, they do. And it's very lively and very big sex and all kind of fireworks. But the reality of it is you need a partner that's a lot like you. You need someone who has a lot of the same values, same morals, same like fun activities.
The foundation.
Right.
You need to be evenly yoked.
Right.
You may have different,
food likes. You
yeah,
have
habits
likes
and things like that.
animals.
But you need to be equally yoked
right
on your foundation.
But and that's the point, is that if we're so different, when it comes time for us to have to work through a problem, if we're so different, then that's where it's going to show up. And then
you have a runner and you have somebody who wants to stay in.
Right.
That's not going to work.
Right.
You want to compliment each other.
Okay.
Go.
That was profound. You want to compliment each other.
Yes.
Okay, he goes on to say, always see the best in your relationship. Focus on what you love and focus on what that you want to enhance. And that goes to what you were saying, but Brian. And one of his next points was, your job is not to change or fix them.
Okay.
Your job is to love them the way that they are.
I'm a grown man. I ain't changed.
And if they change, you love what they become, whether this is what you wanted or not. And if it's something that bothers you, then you have a conversation about that. Take full responsibility for your emotions. It is not the job of your significant other to make you happy or to make you sad.
Let's sidebar.
You are responsible for finding your own happiness. Through your joy, it will be transferred to your relationship with love.
Let's sidebar right there.
That's a lie.
That's why I want your 2 cents.
You cannot take full responsibility for your emotions when you are sharing your life with someone. They do stuff to make you mad or make you happy.
You can't make somebody anything.
Now, you can take full responsibility for how you react to people.
Yeah.
But there's no way. If I get up and I thought everything was going well and I get told it wasn't, wait. Well, my emotions said I was having a good day, but now I have to have a bad day because you're having a bad day? I think we have to be realistic about that one point, that those feelings become intermingled. You become a part of your partner, and your partner, to me, has to be aware of how they affect you. And I just really truly believe that. I don't think a person can say, well, I'm going to be happy, my partner's sad. I do have to wonder, okay.
Okay, well, I took it from a little bit different perspective, and I'm not saying that they're saying if your partner is happy, you have to be sad, but my partner is not responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible. Let's just say I put on an extra 10 pounds and I'm insecure. And so when we go out it makes you uncomfortable. I'm making you uncomfortable. I'm making the situation uncomfortable because I don't want to go out anymore. How about that? You know, we used to be a couple that went out all the time. And, you know, people have these situations. I can't find anything to wear. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to go out.
Why did you put on that extra 10 pounds?
Well, my point is, it is my responsibility to start doing something about it, to drink more water, to walk. But I would say, as my spouse, instead of hoping that you're not a person that points it out and always upset, that you'd be like, babe, let's go to the park and walk together. That's a different way to handle it rather than, you know, I know that this is, or, you know, maybe she just had a baby, you know, and that's the situation.
And I had a part of that.
Exactly. That's my point. You had a part of that, so you should be a part of,
you know, encouraging
rather than diminishing, you know, her feelings at that point. Just like
but
you said, it is both of you.
Is that it is up to, so if you're feeling insecure, if you've gained weight, then my job is to do my best to help you understand that I'm going to support you in losing that weight, or that I still love you as much as I did before.
Right.
But if I don't do that, that is my responsibility. It is my responsibility to let you know that no matter what happens, I love you, babe, what changes do we need to make? And I'm going to be here for you. And I think that's the point. Couples don't do that. A person's, they say, no, you gain that weight, and I sound like Uche. You got to go, you got to lose that weight, or I'm leaving.
It's the Uche spirit in him.
You know, if you don't lose weight, I'm going to leave. Or if you don't
But you know what? They have people who are in relationships like that right now who are listening right now.
Yeah. And they don't think that they should take a part in helping their partner make changes or do the things that they feel necessary.
And they're still coming home with like 2 packs of Oreos, you know.
You can't bring that home if you want.
Well, watch this.
A 12-pack.
Check this out. You're not dating yourself.
Right.
All right? So you should consider your partner's feelings at all times. You know, if you are happy with your weight, but your partner is not, it should be some, you know, a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it should be some type of compromise right there. It shouldn't be, well, I like my weight. I like all this extra meat on my bones or whatever you want to call it.
And I'm glad we're saying weight, but it can be so many different things, because that's an example of something.
Anything. I like my bad attitude.
Exactly.
I like this attitude.
But you see, the weight thing is something you literally can't change overnight. The attitude is something.
You can't change that overnight.
But I think that's the point, is that we're highlighting what I think.
So you have to compromise with the other person.
Yeah, and I think we're highlighting why we asked the question, what potentially was this author's relationship situation? Because to me, I go into a relationship fully accepting that I am a part of my partner's emotional intelligence. That I can affect that I am a part of that. Because if I remove myself from that, then it does become me blaming my partner for every time something goes bad or good. And I don't want that resentment. So I think, in the spirit of moving on, but I think that's, to me, how I read that, is that you have to take responsibility for how your partner feels. You can't just say, well, you know, shucks, I'm going to the club tonight, I'm sorry you feel bad.
Look, when you have standards, because it starts there, when you have standards, you can easily make a pros and cons list, okay? What are the positives of being with this person? What are the negatives? And these negatives, are they deal breakers? And if they are, I have to be real with myself.
Right.
Ain't real with them.
Well,
Stop stringing them along.
Yeah.
And you should be doing this before you make a commitment.
Yeah, now once you marry, in my opinion, everybody changes. So that, you know, people always use that excuse, well, She changed on me.
Well, so did you.
He changed. Everybody changes, okay?
Right.
You should always be striving to be better, but sometimes people go backwards. But
people have road bumps. Life happens.
Yeah, but if you're really friends, because that's what you're supposed to be in the first place.
Right.
How many friends do you fall out with? You know, look at a person's track record with that.
Yeah.
Do they maintain friendships? If they don't,
look at Brian. He's like,
they're probably not gonna be too successful on the dating scene.
I'm gonna make you laugh, for real. If you can't be friends with none of your exes, not all of them, but if none of your exes, you can't even.
They don't want to be friends
with
you.
If you can't even just say, hey, if you can't even tell them happy birthday on Facebook, I gotta wonder, well, what went on in that relationship that you can't even send a happy birthday text? Like, you can't even, if we see them in the street, you can't even shoot them the deuce, like, hey, what's up? Like, I gotta wonder, what was so bad?
Right.
And if that person was so bad, why did you stay with them so long?
Right. Right. No, I hear you. And I love these two, and whether y'all like them or not, too bad. No, I'm just joking. Fill their soul.
Is this our opinion?
Learn their love language and the specific ways that make them feel important. And y'all know we've talked about this on the radio before. The love languages. I love that book, The Love Language. If you don't have it and you're in a relationship, you want to be in a relationship, they have different versions of the book. They have the love languages for the single person, for the married person. They have all kind of books. This is my 2 cents. Go get the book. Learn how they accept and receive love, because sometimes you're just delivering the love in a way that they don't know how to receive it, and you're just kind of passing each other in the night. So open your minds to live differently in the world. Figure out their love language, because that is a good life. This is Relationship Tuesday, y'all. I am here with the guys. We are talking about, appreciating your relationship. And we're talking about, we had a gentleman who was talking about what he would have done differently. So we're going to be right back, so make sure you stay tuned.
L&R Security keeps our family, friends, and event goers safe. And to do that job, they are looking for you. L&R Security Services is now hiring persons for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, armed and unarmed guards. All interested persons should contact L&R Security Office at 504-943-3191. Fill out an application at L&R's office at 3930 Old Gentilly Road. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. To become one of the proud workers of L&R Security, the minimum requirements are 18 years of age, a completed work application, and criminal background check, 2 forms of ID, whether it be a driver's license, a state ID, military ID, social security card, or other forms of picture ID. L&R Security is looking for qualified employees to assist in keeping the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival safe. They are looking for you. Again, contact them at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. L&R is always looking for armed and unarmed guards. If this is your profession, they're looking for you.
Hi, this is Norman Robinson. New Orleans East Hospital is open and providing quality health care in your neighborhood. The New Orleans East Hospital is bringing our finest physicians into a beautiful new facility where you receive compassionate caring service. The emergency room services at New Orleans East Hospital are some of the best in the region. To learn more, visit our website at noehospital.org. Your health matters to us at New Orleans East Hospital.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Back on the air, let's go to the phones. Caller, let me help you.
Hi, so I've been trying to get my landlord to fix my washing machine for weeks, but he keeps avoiding me. What do I do?
Excellent question. Well, have you been to AT&T?
Why? Is my landlord there?
No, but when you have AT&T Wireless and DirecTV, you can get unlimited data.
Sounds great. But how will that fix my washer?
Well, it won't. But now that AT&T and DirecTV have joined forces, you can enjoy your favorite DirecTV shows on your phone while you're counting quarters at the local laundromat.
Sweet.
Sweet indeed. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Come into AT&T now and get the Samsung Galaxy S6.
Must have eligible TV service. If you're not eligible, AT&T will move you to a new plan and overage charges may apply. After 22 gigabytes of data usage, AT&T may reduce speeds. TV content varies by device, location, and package. Monthly and other charges, usage, and other restrictions apply. See store for plan details.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabout for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabout in Gentili.
Universal Printing in New Orleans East is the place to go for all of your digital printing needs. Universal Printing offers a wide range of printing services and promotional products. They handle everything from business cards to personalized prescription pads. They even print yard signs, banners, and vehicle magnets. Stop by Universal Printing at 9900 Lake Forest Boulevard in New Orleans East near Reed. Or give them a call at 504-244-1177. That's 504-244-1177. Come on down to Universal Printing and let the experts handle all of your printing, marketing, and promotional needs so you don't have to.
You are now listening to the radio station that's keeping it real. WBOK 1230 AM, where it's real talk for real time.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind.
In a different lane.
We are back on Relationship Tuesday. I want to remind everybody that The Good Laugh is back. Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. That will be March 25th at the Juju Bag at 5363 Franklin Avenue. If you have not been to the Juju Bag, make sure you visit. The food is delicious. It will be Good Friday. We will have food. We'll have all kinds of stuff, and we will definitely crack you up. The Good Laugh, Relationship Tuesday, is going up on a Friday. That will be March 25th. The Good Laugh is presented by The Good Life radio show featuring Stand Up Nola, combining Relationship Tuesday with the crew, Eileen, Uche, Brian, Henry, and Gian. She'll be back. And Fridays, The Good Laugh Comedy Hour with comedians Tony Frederick, Matt Owens, Courtney G, and Terry Scott. The Good Laugh is comic relations. So make sure you come out. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets will be $10 to get in. It is a great date night. It is a great way to have conversation that sometimes may be uncomfortable in the beginning of a relationship. But that's what The Good Life is all about, opening your mind to living differently in the world and having those conversations. Y'all have asked for it. We have delivered. It was such a huge success at Bullets. We actually packed Bullets. I was like, look at us.
My wife and my mom came to the last one.
How were they like?
That was nice. It was nice.
See, I had a lot of family. And I know a lot of people had, their significant others and, their friends come out. And we had a lot of people that came up to us after and told us how much they enjoyed it and how the conversation was really, needed in our community. So make sure you come out. That is March 25th. That is Good Friday. Come eat at the Juju Bag. Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday at the Good Laugh. So we're about to jump back into the conversation because are you really appreciating your relationship? I read an article about a gentleman who was recently divorced from a 16-year relationship, or marriage, I should say, and he was talking about, the regrets that he had and things that he wished that he had done differently, which has, really sparked a conversation between us. And so the last two I kind of want to bring up, and then we'll go all the different ways are. One of the things says he wished that he was more vulnerable. He said, be prepared to share your fears and feelings and admit your mistakes. He also thought that being completely transparent was something that he wished he should have done. If you want them to trust you, you must be willing to share everything, especially those things you do not want to share. It takes courage to fully love, to fully open your heart, and to let them in. Look at the guys. They're both like, wow, y'all weren't. Look, I went through the list, and I will put the full list. Actually, I'm going to do it right now while the guys are responding. I'm going to put the full list on our website, the Good Life Radio Show on Facebook and Twitter. So I'm going to literally put it right now. I'm going press the button. So if you want the full list, make sure you go to the Good Life Radio Show on Facebook and Twitter, because that is a good life. Go ahead, Brian.
I'd like to comment.
Go ahead, Henry.
On share everything. I think you should do that in moderation.
Well, it depends on what the share is. I already know where you're going.
Well, that plus other things. Sometimes people could use things against you, and you have to really know, like, can I really, really trust this person? I don't think anybody should be trusted 100%. Maybe give them 99.9999.
If somebody's really using something against you,
should
you think about the person that you're with?
Well, sometimes you never know.
I'm saying because your significant other knows those buttons to push, and they know what are the open wounds. So if they're using those things against you, should you be taking a step back and looking at the person that you're with?
That's why I say you do it in moderation. If you give somebody 3 bullets and they shoot all 3 back at you, like, yeah, I ain't giving you no more of that.
Right, I hear you.
I think the reality for men is that we're conditioned and trained from a very early age not to be vulnerable or transparent. We're told that it's weak, it makes you soft, and I would suggest to any man, first and foremost, work on that personally. Mm-hmm. But I would also say to any, and I know we're being heterocentric, but any woman, be patient with a man who's trying to be vulnerable. You got to recognize when he's working on it and when he's being positive. And you got to show us the good of being vulnerable and transparent. All too often, as I think Henry's getting to, if we share too much too soon, then we were made to be the bad guy. And those things don't benefit us by saying, babe, this is my life, this is who I've been. It turns out, well, that's why X, Y, and Z and these other things. So I think we should be vulnerable and we should have transparency, but I think it should be graded. I think it should come over time, and it should come as you're more comfortable in a relationship. Now, you may have to, maybe your partner wants to know your full sexual history early on. I don't necessarily suggest that.
I think that's TMI.
Well, I'm just,
personally, for me, that's TMI.
Some people.
What's your opinion?
Ladies, you should always say less than 3. I don't care what your situation. If you were married 5 times, like, I only had sex with 3 of them, though.
But I have 5 kids.
Yeah.
One for each.
Yeah. It's really not,
Oh my gosh.
Clean up the lie.
So we should lie.
Good example.
Yeah.
Good example of why sometimes you have to think about it. And here's really my kicker with that. When you ask those questions, you got to be careful what you're asking, because do you really want the answer?
Do you want it? Right.
Thank you.
You really want the truth.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't ask nothing if I really don't want.
My mama told me don't ask no questions that you can't handle.
But I also think on this topic is being judgmental. Everybody has a past.
Everybody's judgmental.
But everybody has a past. Everybody has something that they're not proud of. So are you going to judge them on that? Let's say they had a shady background. They were, into
let's say they had sex
drugs.
Outside
I'm talking about drugs and, lots of other things. Maybe, I don't know. Name what you want. I mean,
let's say they were married before and they cheated on their past partner. And you asked them, have you ever cheated before? And they say yes. So what do you do? What do you do if this person admits to you, hey, I cheated before, but I was in a bad relationship. Me and the person was having our problems, and I cheated, and I realized that's when I knew I wanted to get out. So how do you look at that person? They were transparent.
Sideways,
they was vulnerable. They just told you, I'm willing to cheat in a relationship.
Exactly.
But they also gave you the reasons and rationale for why they did it.
Exactly.
Can you excuse that and say, well, maybe I could give it a try? Or do you think, well, you did it once, you'll do it again?
And so you look at it all kind of ways, too, in that example, because they were honest with you and told you, hey, I cheated.
And that took a lot for them to do.
Right, but were they honest with their partner and said, hey, I'm about to go cheat? So that doesn't mean they're an honest person just because they just told you that.
Right.
Probably not.
So
was there like a turning point in their life
Mm-hmm.
where they decided, that was something in my past and this is my future and I want something different, so I'm going to do something different.
Yeah, and that's cool. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody.
It's called discernment.
You
have,
go.
yes,
There
it's
you
called
go.
discernment, and you have to really look at that situation and judge it. Is this for me or is it not for me? And you have to know, what you have in your heart, because just like you said, Henry, I think during the break, y'all should listen to the breaks. Oh, you have to come to the good laughs to do that.
Right.
It's those conversations of knowing who you are and what you can deal with and what you can't. Some people can't deal with, knowing that their significant other has been with 5 other people, and those people
More
that
than
you
that
see you're in the same social circle,
Right.
per se. That's not something they can deal with. And you need to be honest and say, that's not something I can deal with, so this isn't the person for me. Rather than getting in a relationship and then berating that person for something for their past,
Right,
and they've been
right.
faithful to you the entire relationship.
Right.
But here's a fact too. Women seem mentally stronger than men, and women should know that.
I like you.
I
Did
mean,
y'all
that's
know
just true.
it's International Women's Day? If you didn't
Yes,
know, now
it
you
is.
know. It is International Women's Day because Eileen's going international.
Celebrate someone.
So don't
Celebrate your woman.
don't tell a man something he can't handle. Don't even do it to him. You should know, like, look, in your mind, you don't tell him this, but you're like, look, he can't handle
only
this.
he knew.
If only he knew, he cannot
Right.
handle this.
Okay, so look, I'm glad y'all are saying this. For the last couple of minutes, what is information that you feel you can't handle?
A man can't handle?
Yeah. For all the ladies listening, don't give this
the
information.
number one thing, of course, is about performance.
Oh, yeah.
A man's most sensitive, probably most sensitive spot will be about performance. I'll say what
Really?
we brought. I think this wraps up into something we've talked about in terms of emasculation. No man wants to be made to feel like he's less a man.
Yeah.
Whether it be work, whether it be money, whether it be, something that he's just not done. Most men are trying. And I'm going to say that because I listen to men and I listen to brothers, and most of the men I know, they have no problem saying, man, I'm trying to do right, I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not getting the support, I'm not getting the encouragement. So my thing is, like, don't tell a man he's not being a man just because he's not doing what you want. Like, if he's not doing what you want, that's what's wrong. It's not that he's not being a man. So taking away a man's manhood or masculinity probably is going to cut him deep.
So if you're in a relationship with someone that you plan on having a relationship with them, like a continuous one, doing that, it's kind of like, setting off a bomb, that's eventually going to blow. Like you have a timer on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's major what he just said. I mean, the one I had was petty. I mean, look, childish stuff I have in my head, but what he just said, I mean, that speaks volumes. I mean, you don't want to have a man feeling like less of a man.
How do you feel that women emasculate men?
Tell him that he isn't, you're nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the word, but
Well,
You ain't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think one that we look at statistically.
But if you feel that way, should you be with them?
Well, but that's the game, right? That's
Right?
the part about being transparent.
If you
That's
really
the part
feel that
about-
way, should you be with them, or are you saying it in an attempt to raise them up? Because
mean,
that's not really support.
Some people,
right?
Some men,
It's not support.
Punishment does not work.
There you go.
Psychologists have been saying for years, punishment does not work. Well, go ahead, Henry, jump in there, bro.
I mean, some men, they may know. Look, my woman just says crazy stuff. I'm not worried about that. I know
But they
what
do.
I do. I know what I bring to the table.
But they do. It matters.
Yeah, I mean, it affects
It's
some
supposed to be
people.
your best friend.
And it might not
Well,
be
both
the
ways.
day.
They're supposed to be your best friend.
And it might not be the day because, and actually what I would always say is, if your partner says some crazy stuff, you might can handle it today, but what happens that day, you're not in the mood to hear that. Now we got to fight. And now this fight is built up over all these other times you done said something. So I never want to go into a situation, and I have a motto whenever I fight in a relationship. Either I'm going to walk into the room with the grenade and pull a pin and blow us all up, or if I really don't want to do it, I'm going to try to throw it in the window and get you by yourself. So the thing is, you got to decide how you fighting, right?
Right.
But I think coming back to the point, I think whenever you devalue a person, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one thing I think is happening statistically is what we see is when African American women are in many spaces outgaining in terms of income African American men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all too often that's where we probably see some of the greatest fallacies in relationships, where black women demean or diminish a man's, status because he's not making as much money. He's not as financially successful as she may want him to be. But he takes care of the kids. He's a great partner. He's a great support. He encourages. He does all those things, but he just doesn't make the money. I have countless stories from
And then I think you should look at, were you able to consistently keep that level of achievement up without him?
Right.
Or is he helping make you a better person? Because if he is, then that's what he's bringing to the table.
But if that's not valuable to her?
Well, it's no longer valuable because, I make this money now.
Right.
So my value is that you need to be making this money too. I might forget that I'm here because you were willing to forego your career. Or maybe when he lost his job, the commitment changed to where he said, I'm going to just do everything to make you the best.
Well, y'all, we have had a very interesting conversation today, and it is International Women's Day. So make sure you go out there and you let...
And it's Pancake Day.
Oh, my gosh. So make sure you go out there and you let your women know that you love them. It is International Women's Day, and that is The Good Life. So make sure you come see us March 25th at the Juju Bag. That is 5363 Franklin Avenue. The Good Laugh. Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday for the second time. The Good Laugh is Comic Relations. Make sure y'all come out. And I'm out.
Yeah.